And for more on this, we can cross now to our correspondent in Doha, Hoda Abdel-Hamid. Hoda, Donald Trump has said that Iran's missile arsenal had been decimated. So how is Iran still able to fire missiles and drones at these targets in the Gulf region?
Well, I think, first of all, Iran is a very big country and has been preparing for this moment since a long time. So there's very much the possibility that a lot of its facilities are underground. Second of all, Iran has already been in this sort of asymmetrical war. That was back in the 1980s when it was fighting against Iraq, and the whole world, or the Western world, was supporting Saddam Hussein at the time. After that, militarily, Iran decided to use a different policy, which means it completely decentralized its military, giving regional commanders the right to call the shots, really, without going up the chain. And then it's also learned from there to do a war of attrition, a war of harassment. Those daily attacks we get here in Qatar and in other countries of the Gulf is part of that harassment, that psychological warfare. But in the long run, it hopes to completely deplete the defense system, and then again, that's also asymmetrical, but this time in favor of Iran, because those drones it uses cost very little money compared to the cost of each Patriot missile that is fired up. So for one drone that costs between $20,000 to $50,000, about a minimum $4 million is spent. Some military experts told me that sometimes you need 3 Patriot shots at a ballistic missile. So that's up to $12 million. So Iran is betting on that and on the economic pressure, having that ripple effect around the world, knowing very well at this point that that is in the long run what's going to make her survive in this war. But I think militarily, the United States nor Israel had the entire information or the full picture, really, of what Iran has where.
Hoda, this is now the third week of this war. What have been the consequences in terms of cost for the Gulf countries?
Well, I think it's a very high cost. So far, they have spent about $1 billion to $2 billion in the case of the UAE, which gets the brunt of these attacks in just air defense. So that is quite a high price tag, and it's ongoing on a daily basis. And then you have obviously the loss of the travel industry, the combined loss for these 3 main hubs, which are Dubai, Doha, and Abu Dhabi Airport, is estimated about $500 million per day. And then you have the infrastructure loss. But that, at the end of the day, once the oil refineries are up and running, once the gas refinery here in Qatar is up and running, the money will flow in again, and they will be able to counter it, even though probably they'll have to face an inflation. I think the bigger damage is, one, on the diplomatic front. The Gulf countries have put a lot of effort to sort of get closer to Iran. The GCC has been created back in 1981 to counter the threat of Iran after the Islamic Revolution. It's the Gulf, that they've gone a long way since that time. Now, after this, as we heard it from the Prime Minister here, we heard it from other leaders around the Gulf, they feel that they have been betrayed since they have been opposing this war all at the beginning. And finally, the image of the Gulf. This is a place where everybody from around the world would come. It's safe, it's stable, life is comfortable, there is no danger. Well, that image has been shattered, and they will have to do a lot to actually be attractive again, because without foreigners, the countries cannot function because of their very small populations, bar Saudi Arabia. Certainly the high rate of interception makes you feel that we are being taken care of, and people are feeling, those who chose to remain, that things could be okay. But I think on the wider scale, the image of this sort of beacon of stability within the Middle East has gone shattered.
I think that's exactly right. Our correspondent in Doha, Hoda Abdel-Hamid. Hoda, thanks so much. We appreciate it.